Hey bookworms, welcome back to my channel and to another review. This time I will talk about Dear Mr. M by Dutch author Herman Koch. Now I read another novel by Koch called The Dinner. It was about a decade ago and it either just came out or was just translated, and it was a big bestseller and I really enjoyed it, although some people didn't, and I got why, and more on that later. But anyway, a few years ago I remembered The Dinner and I decided to see what else Koch has been up to, and saw that the Dear Mr. M is another bestseller, so I got it and only now got to actually reading it, but it's okay. So the titular Mr. M is an elderly author who seemed to have everything going for him. His name is still relevant in the publishing circles, he has a very young wife and a small child, a nice apartment, a new book that he's working on. Life is good. But he's also being watched by someone who is the one who is actually narrating the novel for the most part. And he's kind of writing an almost novel-length letter to Mr. M, so I will refer to him as the writer. And we soon find out that the writer's life story is remarkably similar to one of Mr. M's novel. But, so what? And what is the writer's endgame? Why is he so obsessed with Mr. M? Why does he constantly watching him? What does he actually want from him? I'll get straight into it. This is a perfect example for a book with a great idea and a bad execution, which is such a shame because this book has such great potential. Basically, this book starts interesting but goes nowhere. We start reading about this guy who is seemingly obsessed with M and start getting clues to why, what their relationship is, the fact that the writer has a plan, etc. And then pretty much nothing. At times I was wondering where the story is going, if it's going anywhere. And eventually it does. We do get a full picture, kind of, but it wasn't worth the journey. I thought that this book could be a bit of a thriller, like revealing of a mystery to what's going on, but I suppose I can already jump to my next issue with this book, which is the writing style that also ruined any sense of suspense. So reflecting back to The Dinner, I realized that Herman Koch has a tendency to write really not to the point. It's not Tolkien's fixation of every little detail with too much information, or Stephen King's trailing off to something only remotely concerning the main plot, but Koch can definitely join their club of ADD writing. I feel that many people will lose interest in this book rather quickly. When you read a plot line and then the chapter ends and you find yourself reading a completely different plot line, there's a limited time most people will let you have of, okay, let's see where this is going. And after a while, if you are still asking yourself, why am I reading this? Then you lost your readers. Now I'm rather patient with those things and I still managed to lose interest. It was very clear very early on what this connection is between M and the writer, so much so that I was certain that there will be a twist ending where it turns out that everything we thought was wrong. But spoiler alert, there wasn't one. Which made me doubt some narrative choices, like not giving us the real names of many characters. In addition, just because I needed to get this out, the narrator, the writer, was obnoxious and not in a fun way. And since I'm here, I'm sorry for complaining about trailing off but then doing it myself, sorry, but sometimes it wasn't even very clear if we were still following the writer's point of view or, or going to general third person. It was rather confusing. But mostly it's the writer who is telling the story, and reading this right after having such a traumatizing experience that was Disgrace really wasn't good for me. You can watch my review on Disgrace, I'll link it, but basically it has a protagonist that I really hated, who I saw as a sexual harasser, if not a manipulative rapist, and the entire book portrayed him as the victim, and this really did a number on me. And not Hermann Koch's fault, okay? But reading Dear Mr. M directly after Disgrace, still feeling icky from the protagonist, it didn't make me look at this writer in the best of light. Although I doubt I would have liked him otherwise. His disdain, bitterness, and hatred, especially toward women, really rubbed me the wrong way. The way he writes women is so disturbing, so hateful and shallow. All they care about is their looks, how sexy they are, because it's the only thing that matters, and comparing themselves to other women. I almost felt personally attacked for being a woman, but being already triggered by Disgrace and then reading this directly after, just no. You know what, even ignoring all of this, I think this book just didn't know where it was going, which is a shame. The concept is so interesting and cool, but done in an inadequate way. I feel awful saying this, but the premise was better than the execution. So let's just sum it up like that. And that's it. Those were my thoughts on Dear Mr. M. Have you read it or any other books by Hermann Koch? I did feel that Dinner was better, but I remember after reading it, many people said that they couldn't get through it because, you know, it kept going to strange directions. Again, this not writing to the point, and I wonder how I would feel if I reread it now. So guys, with this wondering, I shall leave you. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and write me a comment so YouTube won't forget about me. Guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.